Hello, this is Dr. Cindy Schreiber, and this is day 6 of your strategies for staying sober. That's right, your 30 days to sobriety. I am so proud of you. This work is wonderful and it builds on itself. And all of these things we're doing are to help you because so many times you said, I'll quit, but you just didn't have the strategies. So we are giving you all the strategies. Remember to use your journal with this. Each step builds upon the other. So start at the beginning, and if you skipped one step, just go back and review it before you get to this step. This is a fantabulous session because it is all about the outcome solution, day 6, the power of the outcome focused, purpose driven, goal setting strategy. Now, as a therapist, I love this because this is what I do all the time. We reframe your problems and then we set goals to discover how we can get to them. And with goals, they get you doing everything. I live on a hill here in Hollywood, and the people that come up here, probably 5,000 a day in their exercise clothes, and they are walking up this hill or running up this hill or walking their dogs and exercising. Saturday morning, there's a group that comes at 7 a.m. and they are up this hill with a coach, and everybody's having fun. And they said, "Hey, Cindy," from my balcony, "come down here, join us." And I was laughing. I thought, yeah, right, with my coffee, and at age 70, I'm going to run up a hill. But then I thought about it. You know what? The next week I saw him going up there, and I thought, well, I can at least walk up that hill. And that's the way you do it. You're around other people that are doing their goals, and you know that you want some. You want your life to accomplish things. Because when you don't set a goal, people, and you get all wrapped up in your problems or your drinking or your gambling or your addiction, you're going at such a fast pace because the mind is a chattering monkey mind. And until you get your subconscious guided into the goals, which is through discipline, it's not motivation to quit drinking, because one day you're motivated and the next day you're motivated. But when you have goals, these are dates with deadlines. So let's get into it. Sit back, relax, and we're going to get you in a beautiful place today where you're going to get up and want to do your goals. And this works for me too. As I'm doing this work, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take that pile of paperwork in there and make it disappear in a half an hour. I haven't been wanting to do it. I've been procrastinating it. But like you guys, I'm human, and goals work for everybody. So this stuff, when I give you the sessions and make these sessions, they actually work for me too. So let's get into it. And this is by Aristotle. It says, a man is a goal-seeking animal. His life has only meaning if he is reaching out and striving for his goals. That's right. So you've committed 100% to thriving in sobriety, determined your 30-day vision, and learned how to forgive yourself and believe in yourself. Now you're ready to leverage the incredible power of goal setting. That's right. The human brain is designed as a goal-setting organism. Once you set a specific and measurable goal, your subconscious mind will work day and night to achieve it. This is true of any goal in your life, including cutting back on drugs, quitting dope, quitting drinking, or simply completing this 30-day reboot, which means you've fallen back into your old ways. Get back on it. Get into your program. This is a wonderful program. This is from the book, The 30-Day Solution. Now, the test. This guy says, I got sober. I stopped killing myself with drinking. I began to think, wait a minute. If I can stop doing this, what are the possibilities? And slowly, it dawned on me that maybe it was worth the risk. This is by Craig Ferguson. And excuse the trash truck that just went by. I am doing this in my living room, and it is a beautiful spring day, so you will hear some noises, but I'm going to go ahead and shut this door as I am lecturing. Here we go. Now, let's get going here. Just keep breathing and relaxing. Before you jump into your goal setting, take a moment to address some common experiences and challenges that come up during the first week, especially after you've stopped drinking, and you know this because you've done this before. In every problem drinker or drugger, or any habit you have, There live two people, two identities, and you know who they are: the thriving sober person and the problem drinking person. Now, this week you have been empowered, your identification with the sober person, with all of these exercises, and you've been disempowering your identification with the problem person who drinks and does drugs, which ultimately leads to an internal conflict. Before, you can't have two people living in you, right? Before this program, the problem person usually won and you would use. Now, this is no longer the case. You've taken a breath. You've decided to quit. However, sometimes the problem comes back. This is when you just start to quit smoking. This is why people say they're quitting smoking on January 1st. But after a few days, usually people give up, right? They don't have a program. The part of you that is afraid of disappearing after being in control for so many years, and this can lead to a temporary increase in the desire to use. You hear that, people. It's like when you finally say, I'm going to use this discipline on my children, and they act up horribly. It's like it's the universe testing you, and this is what it is. The universe is saying, hey, you want to quit drinking? Sure you do. Let's test you. Now, another experience during the first 6 days is that when it rains, it pours. You start making these wonderful changes, and suddenly you're faced with more, including relationship issues. Once you get clean, everything comes up that you've been stuffing, right? All of these rocks in your backpack you've been carrying around, your health, your financial setbacks, your stresses from work, your relationships. For our clients on the cusp of making a breakthrough change in their life, one that will have positive ripple effects all around them, it's almost as if they're being tested one last time. And if you pass this test, your life will change forever. This is true. Ask anybody who's quit drinking for a while or drugging. They say their life has changed in ultimate ways. That's right. If you pass this test, your life is forever changed. If you don't, the old habits and self-defeating behaviors come back as strong as ever, because we are habitual beings, and your subconscious, you trained yourself to use when you're stressed. So it takes a moment. There are cravings. You walk past a bar, you get that feeling. You walk past the drugs or see drug people and where you used to be, and you start getting those cravings again. But trust us, they last 15 seconds. That's why we teach all this deep breathing. That's why we teach discipline. Remember, discipline is not motivation, okay? Motivation comes and goes, but when you're disciplined and you don't have any choice, you're 100% into being clean, there's not that 99% where that one little percent slips off. And when you do, which people do, it will be foreign to you. It will not taste as good. It will not do as well, and you will feel so guilty. That's right. So we need to push through. There's a truly wonderful life awaiting you. I can see you clean. I can see your eyes sparkling. I can see the mood swings fading off. And I can see you happy, your health improving. That's right. Now, I told you that these urges don't last long. Also, they're recommending tapping exercise for chapter 13. They keep saying, go to chapter 13 if you get too stressed out. I have the tapping exercise right on my website. You just look at it. I have my hands on my head. I look like a monkey, and I'm tapping my head. That's the tapping solution. It's called Emotional Freedom Technique. I learned it about 20 years ago, and it sounds so corny. You have meridians running all through your body. So when you get a craving, you can just tap on your kneecaps. A lot of times when we talk to children, they don't have the words. In therapy, they tap. So the power of goal setting. If you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hope. I've got a program now. I'm working a program. I'm doing my steps. Goal setting is one of the most powerful tools at your disposal. Virtually every successful coach, trainer, and motivational expert teaches goal setting as a key component of creating a successful life. And Dr. Cindy is helping people to reach their goals. I have been doing it for years and years, and it is surprising and amazing how I see people change. The Outcome Solution addresses this oversight by teaching you the right techniques for goal setting so that you actually get the results you desire. Today you will learn how to use outcome-focused, purpose-driven method of goal setting to ensure that the 30-day to sobriety vision you wrote on day 2 in the purpose solution becomes a reality. That's how it becomes a reality, people, a little bit every day. The outcome solution not only applies to accelerating achieving your goal to cut back on your use or to quit, but it can also be used to set and accomplish goals in every area of your life, including losing weight, starting a new career, achieving financial freedom. That's what I want. Making new friends. That's fun. Finding true love. That's awesome. How about excelling at a sport? You know, they say being fit is the new sexy, and I'll go for that. Mastering a new hobby. How fun is that? How many things can we do in this life instead of use and waste our life? Now, here's the short term, what does this say? Oh my gosh, the short term trap. And this is by Kristen Davis, the actress who was in, what was that show? You know, that one in New York where the girls live there? You know, it's on the tip of my tongue. It became famous. Anyways, this is Kristen Davis here. And she said, I realized that drinking was counterproductive to what I was trying to do. You see, acting is very difficult in weird ways. You have to get to class by 8 a.m., work all day, rehearse all night, and it's not really good to do when you're hungover. I'd wanted to be an actress my whole life, and that was my goal. And that was all I cared about. Something had to go. So I chose drinking. Has it been difficult? Oh, yeah. Sometimes it would be nice just to have some red wine with dinner, but it's not worth the risk. I have a great life, a great solution. Why would I want to risk self-destructive behavior? And she's been sober, this Kristen Davis, for 20 years. Satisfying your short-term desire is often in conflict with accomplishing your long-term goals. And this is what we say in hypnosis. You know, the minutes turn to hours, the hours, days, the days, weeks, and the weeks are months. Okay? And if you haven't got those goals set, you'll be doing the same thing and being so depressed. This is one of the most important concepts we want you to take away from the outcome solution. Short-term goals. Okay? Satisfying your short-term desires is often in conflict with accomplishing your long-term goals. Remember this, folks. You might even want to write it in your journal whenever you get tempted to use. Today, you identify and commit to at least 3 specific goals that over time will have a profound positive impact on your life and that you can accomplish only through the choice of staying sober. How many times did my son say he was going to do things, but getting high stopped him? Simple things like getting a driver's license, getting to the DMV. Those things seem so simple for the average person, but somebody who drinks, doing these things, you have to be sober. You have to be clean. Anyways, today you will identify and commit to at least 3 specific goals that over time will have a profoundly positive impact on your life. It could be to exercise. Let's be honest, it isn't easy to stay sober when you've used a long time. The temptation to satisfy your short-term desire to use can feel overwhelming, but you will be less willing to do it, to give in to the temptation when you clearly know that doing so undermines the achievement of your long-term goals. Now, this is where you set it into your subconscious mind. As a hypnotherapist, your subconscious is the driver of your behavior. You know how when you say something, you think, why did I say that? I usually don't talk like that. I blew it. I embarrassed myself. Or why did I do that? Why did I go back to not going to the gym? Or why have I let my house go? Why haven't I tackled that pile of bills over there, that paperwork, right? Take a second and think back to the greatest accomplishments in your life. Now ask yourself, what sacrifices did I make, especially in the short term, to create that success? Maybe you wanted to get an A in a class at school. Maybe join a sports team, break a record, become a top salesperson, learn a new instrument. save money for a car, lose weight, perform in a play, create a rock band, become a cheerleader, raise money for a cause. Whatever it was, most likely you had to make short-term sacrifices. That's right. Working hard, getting up early, staying up late, like Kristen Davis in the acting, giving up desserts, saying no to distractions like TV, video games, and socializing. People, discipline is one of the best things you'll ever do in your life. I was listening to that monk I told you on television, and he said discipline, not motivation. The question is, are you willing to forego short-term satisfaction that the drugs bring to ensure the long-term happiness and fulfillment for your desire in life? Every time you feel overwhelmed by the desire to use, ask yourself that question. Consider the cost that you will face from choosing to drink or to use drugs. Maybe you've done this your whole life. Maybe your parents did that. Okay, in both the short term and the long term, the benefits you will gain by choosing not to use, especially in the long term. Now, people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've made a lot of money from therapy, and I'm telling you, people will do anything to change. The power of positive pressure. The pursuit of a goal. Oh, and this is free. That was my whole thing. You can listen to this. You can listen to these online on YouTube and get what you need. Yes, I still have paying clients, and yes, I will be doing this the rest of my life, but I like to give a lot away. A lot. The pursuit of a goal brings order and awareness because a person must concentrate attention on the task at hand and mentally forget everything else. That's right. That's why the goals are so great. These periods of struggling to overcome challenges are what people find to be the most enjoyable in their lives. When you have the habit of going out and working out and you have it all set up, or you've joined a group or community center or a spiritual center, or you've joined a charity or gotten involved politically, it gets you up in the morning. People get up and get out of your house. Most people hide behind closed doors, just afraid. You have to cut the cords and look at all the trauma you've been through. And the pursuit of a goal brings order into awareness because a person must concentrate their attention on the task at hand and momentarily forget everything else. That's why when you're going to a group or you're doing these exercises and journaling first before anything else, these are your goals. And you will see wonderful, just awesome effects. Okay? In the book, Eat That Frog, Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Get More Done in Less Time, Brian Tracy, one of America's leading authorities on development of human potential and personal effectiveness, many people went to his groups, right? He was like a seminar guy, and we would listen to his tapes back in the day. Only about 3% of adults have clear written goals. Do you hear that? Write it down. These people accomplish 5 and 10 times as much as people of equal or better education and ability, but who, for whatever reason, have never taken the time to write out exactly what they want. Oh my gosh, how many times do you spend all day long saying, well, I didn't want this, and I didn't want to do that, and these things are a waste of time, and these people are driving me crazy, and I'm spending all my time walking in circles or being around stuff I don't want to be. And then they use to forget. And as we said on day 1 in the 100% solution, your destiny is the consequences of your daily decisions. Your daily decisions, along with your purpose and your beliefs, your goals will help you to set the standards for these daily decisions. Remember this. Write these things down. Draw them. Color them. Remember, in every situation, there's only 2 choices. Your decision will either take you toward what you want or take you away from what you want. This is powerful, people. So ask yourself today, is this action going to take me toward my goal or away from my goal? Setting a goal means that you acknowledge in your conscious and subconscious minds that you are not where you want to be. That you are not where you want to be. Look at the people right now. The Cannes Festival is going on, and I was watching it last night, or is it Cannes? Whatever, in Paris. My daughter is there now. She's there. She likes to go there. She likes to watch all the people and do that. Acting's her thing, and she just loves it. And I looked at these people and their outfits from Paris, and I'm telling you, they put our mega gala, what is that called? That gala we just had, it's called Mega or Metro, whatever. The one we have every year. And I'm telling you, these outfits these women were wearing put them to shame. These designers really polished these girls, these tall, beautiful, 6 foot tall models, these actresses. They were shining, these men in their tuxedos. It was so beautiful. Well, how did they make it there? They did movies. How did they make the movies? They set goals. They had discipline. They practiced every day. And this is the top of the top reward. That's right. Setting a goal means that you acknowledge in your conscious and subconscious mind, you're not where you want to be. How many people could have been at cons, but never made it because they didn't reach their goals? How many good singers are there? I've heard people sing that would blow away these singers sometimes, and they've never even tried to be professional. They've never given themselves the reward of making good money. That's right. I heard a man, and he sang like an angel. And he's over here a security guard, depressed, bunch of baby mamas, walking around town, very angry, very dark. But when he sang, he took me to my knees. I could not believe he had that voice. So, simply put, having goals create positive pressures in your life. In virtually every study written, time-bound goals are a key component of attaining high performance. Remember this. Virtually in every study written, time-bound goals are a key component for attaining high performance. Remember back to day 3, the pendulum solution, where we shared with you the study of patients recovering from the hip and knee surgeries and how setting goals for their recovery helped them to walk almost twice as fast as those that did not set goals. The same principle applies to you and your goal of thriving in sobriety. I love that word, thriving. I am thriving in sobriety. And so many people have quit here in Hollywood, and they thrive in their lives. They just quit and got over it. That's right. Smart goals. You want to set a goal that's big enough in the process of achieving it that you become someone worth becoming. That's right. This is Jim Rohn. He lived 1930 to 2009, author of The Art of Exceptional Living. Now, Zig Ziglar, he was an all-time favorite motivational speaker. Ziggy Ziglar, isn't that a name? Once said, what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. That's right. Not only do you get the health, improved relationships, better jobs, you become a better person because you did something with discipline. People, it took me 25 years to get my doctorate degree. I was a hairdresser. I had gotten pregnant as a teen, and I didn't even finish high school. And I remember going to graduation and feeling like such an outcast. And yet I went to cosmetology school a few years later and became a great hairdresser. But I always remembered the education I missed. And at age 30, yes, it took till age 30 of raising my daughter and raising my beautiful daughter. And I finally went to the junior college, and I was so embarrassed because I couldn't even pass the entrance exam. My writing was colloquial, a teacher told me. That's Southern slang. I couldn't believe it. I thought I would write my feelings out and be the best writer in the world, and all my writing was not grammatically in place. My math wasn't up to skills. I had to take classes before I could get into the junior college. And then it took me 15 years. My friends would say to me in my 40s, Cindy, what are you doing? And I would go to that junior college. Oh, it was Fullerton JC. That's right, in California. And I would go there, and I took every class. I took it over. I had to take math so many times. I could do basic math, but algebra just killed me. And I just kept taking it. I found out I have more of geometry in my brain. And once you're older and you try algebra, woo, took me years, but guess what? When I finally passed that course, I wrote my teacher a love letter, and he was gay. And this girl couldn't believe it. I said, I put a love letter in my final because he worked with me so hard. And I would say, shit, And he goes, no, that's not the answer in class. He couldn't believe it, but he was so kind to me and empathic, and I was so shaky. And guess what? I passed that dang course. And then I went to the Big People's College. I called it the Big People's College. I used to drive past it, Cal State Fullerton, the university. I would see the big buildings. I thought, this is where the really smart people go. This is where I have to go. And don't ask me how. Don't ask me how I got pregnant again at age 40. I will tell you that. I went to work on a cruise ship as a hairdresser, and they sent me home with a little package. And here I was, 40 years old, egg on my face. I could have just given up work, and I did for a while. I was embarrassed, and I got a little bit of welfare to help me with this baby. I wasn't married, and I thought, what am I going to do with my life? I decided to go back to school, and I brought that little critter, that little gorgeous boy with me. He's 29 now. I brought him with me to college. I used to bring him with me, and he gave me new goals. Yes, I was depressed before. I had a nanny job with 5 kids when I was pregnant. If you will only know my journey, people, you will laugh, but you will also say, if Dr. Cindy did all that stuff, look how much I can do. I can quit drinking. Look what Dr. Cindy did, and I'll be damned if I didn't get my 4-year degree in MFT program. That's the Marriage and Family Therapy program. That's right. And after that, I didn't want to really do that, marriage and family therapy. So I went on to a school in Kona, Hawaii, online. And I got my doctorate degree. It took 7 years. They were ready to kick me out again. They're like, Dr. Cindy, you're taking, they didn't call me, I wasn't doctor then. They said, Cindy, you're taking too long. And so I had to up the speed. You know, life was there. I was working. I was doing other things, raising my family. But I finally graduated. And oh my gosh, what a feeling. People, nobody can ever take away the doctorate degree I got in hypnosis. I can take you down and take you apart. I know hypnotherapy like anybody, and I can just do things for you. So listen to my voice. Listen to me. This comes from someone who's been through the trenches. Smart goals. That's right. As you move towards achieving your goals, you become the person you were meant to be. Healthy, vibrant, passionate, successful. And who doesn't need alcohol to get through the day or the weekend, or drugs? You become the person who's a great role model to peers, friends, family, and coworkers. But then you become a person who no longer needs to drink to fit in. This is something you haven't dealt with, and you need to deal with it now. You're a person who no longer needs to fit in and to have fun or feel successful. And now they're doing P. Diddy. And look at those parties that P. Diddy did. See, when you have access to that much alcohol and that many drugs, and so many people thought he was the cool guy and he had the cool parties. I used to read about his parties up in Northern California in the Star magazines, and I thought he was just a debonair guy doing great parties. But boy, when we got down to the nitty-gritty and the down and dirty to it, people, if you do not set goals and become better, you can just get off with the wrong people, right? And they will promise you goodness and happiness. It's all trash. You are so worth the changes. So, when you're setting your goal, they give you this acronym of SMART. Be S, specific. Who, what, and where. Write this down. Be specific. Have your goal be measurable. It should be clear to you and to others what you're doing. The goal should be attainable, something that's in your reach. You should be able to stretch while you're being attainable. That means when you get the cravings, you do the tapping. You wait 15 seconds. You deep breathe. You read your journal. You listen to your recording every night. Your goal must be realistic. This is the R. S-M-A-R. You should be willing to achieve the goal. It needs to be believable. Some people set goals like, I'm going to be a millionaire by the age of 20. And it has to be believable. Time-bound. The goal should be a specific. It's a date with a deadline. Give yourself dates for these goals. That's why we're doing the steps. 30 days to sobriety. There it is. Now, in short, you have to state specifically how much and by when in a way that an outside observer would verify that you achieved it. That's right. It's not just talk anymore.